right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Nioh 2 is here. AxelSanGo, gonna be running it any percent featherless. Take it away, Axel.
Alright, so welcome to Nioh 2, 100% Featherless. I'm gonna start loading the game real quick. So while this is happening, I gotta skip two cutscenes. Featherless basically means that we're not gonna use something that we call feathers. It's like basically some ninjutsu spells that are very, very powerful. They can be spammed quite easily and they deal a ton of damage on out of key enemies. So that's not gonna be allowed for this run. And before the timer starts, we're gonna prepare the character. And after we prepare the character and say yes, in my version, there's like 18, almost and a half seconds before the run starts. So I'll let you know when that's gonna happen. All right. So yeah, right now we have like 13 seconds. So we're not only gonna grow up to be strong, but also very, very fast. So 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. So we start in the location known as the interim. There's like the ethereal plane, something like that. It's where people go when they die. We're not gonna see that much. We're just gonna see it 2 times. This one and then later on the run. We picked the sword, the axe, and the Makami, which has the brute yokai shift. The sword is gonna be used mainly for movement. It has the fastest form of movement of the game, being on low stance dashing with the sword. The axe is gonna be the main weapon throughout the whole run. And the brute is gonna give us, honestly, like it has like a lot of very good uses, especially at the start. And we are a bit heavy, we're on midweight, so that's gonna be not an issue anymore. We're getting some items, spirit stones, to trigger the yokai shift whenever we need to. You can see that right there. And over here I'm gonna do this, so I ready the menu a little bit better. And now we're gonna fight this monkey right here called the Enki. The Enki is a baboon that's gonna give us well, it's a yokai baboon. That's gonna give us this soul core right here and also some proficiency from attacking him. This soul core is not strictly necessary, but it's very useful, especially on the first part of the run, to get more consistency and punish more the red key. We're gonna talk about that later. So I'm gonna assign that. So right now our main concerns are gonna be gathering the items like this one right here, getting rid of menu pop-ups, and getting proficiency. So yeah, the menuing is gonna be quite important, especially early on and not so much later. And now we're in the Dark Realm. This is the realm where our key recovery is hampered. The key is basically like the stamina and souls, but it has quite a few more different aspects to it. And now we're gonna go to the first boss. We do not have any kind of skills, so the moveset is gonna be very basic, but we're gonna get more as we go on the run. So we run to him, high stance to strong attack, Enki to avoid that and attack at the same time, high stance to strong attack, another one, Enki, and as you can see that Enki got rid of all the red key, making him on the down state so I can grapple, avoiding that attack again. There we go. And now we're gonna finish the fight, skipping the final grapple. If you remove all his HP to 0 without grappling him, you have to do another grapple. But if you grapple, then you don't need to do another one. Alright, so we're gonna do a bit more menu. We got some decent stuff, getting rid of more menu pop-ups, and going forward. Okay, so some people may have noticed that I did a lot of damage, like I got a debuff on the enemy whenever I was grappling the enemy. That's because of the Maeda clan. It's the clan used for the Featherless speedruns. There's another one for the runs with feathers, which focuses on the ninjutsu power. And now we're going to the second main mission of the game. And yeah, like the Maeda clan, basically what it does is on grapple reduces the defense of the enemy. It also gives us like an extra damage on thrust attacks, but we are not really gonna be benefiting from that, so it doesn't really matter. So next up we're gonna fight an enemy that is actually mandatory. You cannot progress without defeating it. And this is gonna be the last enemy that we're gonna actually defeat that is not a boss, at least in theory. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that Yokai Realm. Yokai Realm are those pools of darkness that hamper or key recovery. They're different from Dark Realms. The Dark Realms are the huge areas, and the Yokai Realms are the small ones. Okay, so we got rid of that guy. It gets some loot from him, but we're not really interested in it. I actually got pretty lucky in that sense because I got the soul core, but we don't really need it. Now we're lacking some proficiency, so we need to attack some enemies on the way, and these are easy targets for that. There we go, we got the skill point for that. And we're gonna get Heaven and Earth whenever possible, which is gonna be on the shrine. Not this one, but the next one. I'm gonna take this shrine because there's a small chance that when I'm getting an item that I need, an enemy will hit me and stagger me, and then another one will actually kill me. Which is right here. There we go, okay. So I didn't need to do that, but it's fine. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna get 2 items. One is gonna be a key, but before that we're gonna open a chest that contains Omnio Mage Locks to get some Omnio skill points, so we can use some magic. Magic is gonna be pretty relevant, but we're only gonna be using 2 types of magic, and mainly only one. That is gonna be the Purity Talisman, that is the main one, and then the secondary one on the next region onwards is gonna be the Water Talisman. Those are important for debuffs on different enemies. Purity debuff basically makes the enemies take more key damage, so basically that stamina-like bar is gonna take a bigger hit. And now we're gonna get the Purification Talisman and Heaven and Earth, which is gonna be a very, very useful skill. And we're gonna assign 2 Purification Talismans, we're not gonna need more. And now we're going to the first boss, well, the second boss, I don't know why I said first. It's the first real boss. We're gonna buff, and if things go well, then you're gonna see a very, very fast kill. If not, then it's gonna be alright. Alright, so Heaven and Earth, unlock. Oh, okay, a bit unlucky. It's fine, we still got it. There we go, Mizuki. So that's the Confusion debuff, by the way. To keep it simple, Confusion debuff makes it so enemies take a ton of damage. So we are gonna take profit of that. And yeah, that's an end round. GG. Alright, so we're gonna try to update our weapons. There we go, we got pretty good loot. So far so good. And we're moving on to the last mission of the first region. This game is has 7 regions. Normally in each region there's like 3 missions, but in some it's gonna be 2 and others it's gonna be 4. But normally 3. Alright. So this boss that we're gonna fight next is probably one of the biggest walls in the game for people who are starting. It's gonna be the Yatsuno Kami. It's basically a big snake with snake arms and poison pools. So yeah, it's very fun. Smiley face. We're gonna take this safety shrine. If I deem it necessary, I'll quit out and then go at it again. This game saves whenever you reset the shrine or load after dying, for the most part. And we're gonna keep getting some items. This is a shortcut, not really a skip. I'm gonna roll, not get poison, heal. Because not healing against this boss, like not having a almost full HP at this boss is very, very dangerous for what we're doing. So this is the Scampus. Scampus is gonna give us Anima region. Anima is gonna be the purple bar right there that it's getting filled. We're gonna buff with Purity. And let's see what happens. Okay, so Heaven and Earth. Hippos, roll. 1, 2. Enki. Okay, got away. It's fine. Heaven and Earth. Mezuki. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is not good actually. I'm gonna actually do this. Normally, I would do another attack. You know, I would do the setup, but I wasn't able to get the setup. Sometimes it be like that. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get it now. Because otherwise I'll die. Okay. Okay, that's very, very unfortunate. We'll try to get this going, but yeah, I'm gonna have to... Sorry, I cannot show the actual setup. Sadly, I was quite unlucky. And I wasn't able to show it. But yeah, there's a thing that you can do with the yokai shift after grappling. If you trigger it, you can make the snake fall again, and you do another grapple with the yokai shift. But you can also like do the special attack of the yokai shift, or you know, with the guardian spirit. But yeah, sadly I got pretty bad RNG and I wasn't able to get it. Okay, so this Yatsuno Kami Soul Core is going to be the main Soul Core throughout the run. And then later on we're going to have another one. We're going to go to the next region and we're going to do the first and only dojo of the run. To be able to use some skills on the Samurai skill tree and also the Axe skill tree that are locked behind it. And... yeah, there's not much to talk about this dojo, so if there's anything to talk about, feel free to go.
Oh, I got a couple things to talk about. We got a $10 donation from Anonymous. No comment, but we still appreciate the donation nevertheless. And QQ donates $1.07. Comment McChicken. I think he meant that for someone during the PvP thing. That was, of course, going towards the All Souls Relay any percent race, specifically the RTSR Nioh Team Swole Doge. Whenever you do donate, we have a lot of incentives coming up. I think the next one that'll be following this shortly would be Nier Replicant. You can choose a soundtrack choice. Of course, we got the All Souls Relay, any percent. Well, Ike is already having to do no move swap Civ, so he's gonna suffer. So it's all good. All right, back to you.
All right, so we just did the backflip in front of Maeda Toshie, and he was so impressed by the backflip that he let us through. And we also got a Lantern Plant Fruit. I didn't explain what Anima does, I just explained what it was. Anima is basically the bar that we use to use yokai skills, like the Yatsu no Kami Sokor that I have, and burst counters, like the one that I use to break the pillars of water on the Enendra fight, in order to set up the confusion. I don't think I explained what water did. Water deals more damage, or, you know, makes the debuffed mob to get more damage. Alright, so 10 constitution, some magic and rest on skill. And now we're gonna get Flux 2. I'll explain in a moment what Flux does. We're gonna get water, because we're gonna be using water against this next boss. And basically, Flux, so Kipples, as you know, as you probably know, makes it so you recover part of your ki. But if you enable Flux and you switch stances while you do that, like basically you Kipples and switch stances immediately, you're gonna recover more ki. So you're gonna be able to attack more next, you know, after that. And if you unlock Flux 2 and you change to another stance, then you're able to recover even more ki. So in this boss fight, we're gonna shoot him in the head right away. Hit him once, final blow. Heaven and Earth. See what he does. There we go. Burst counter whenever necessary. I'm gonna grapple. Remember that with the Maeda clan, we remove the defense of the enemy, make it take way more damage. Okay, that's not nice. Imagawa, that's not nice at all. Yeah, that was not nice. So yeah, there's a small chance that of course happens in the marathon, where he changes a bit the pattern that he usually follows and starts doing hyper armor attacks that are kind of weird to predict. So yeah, died. But you know, maybe I'll get a really fast fight now. It's fine. The bat RNG is taken into account in the run, but you know, you can always just get an absolutely awful run. So alright. Shoot him in the head. Hit him once. Final blow. Heaven and Earth. There we go. Final blow. We also have access to the snake right now that we didn't have access to before, because we didn't really need, in theory, to use the soul core. But you know, we end up actually needing to do it because we died. But yeah, that's Imagawa. He has the same seiyuu, you know, the same Japanese voice actor as Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. In case you didn't know. And he likes to be weird in many sense of the word. Alright, so next mission is gonna be the... Oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna fight one more enemy. I forgot about this one. In this mission, we're gonna fight an enemy called Yamamba. We already saw it before. It's like an old lady yokai with some knives. It's mainly for safety. Well, a mix in between safety, proficiency, and anima gain, because you get anima when attacking, well, when dealing damage rather. Alright, so we updated our armor. We're gonna update it 3 times. This is the first time. Okay, I got an attack accidentally. I'm still getting used to the DualSense. Alright, so now we're gonna get Masterful Slice, and we're gonna get the Dark Within 2. Masterful Slice is gonna be useful later. It's gonna deal more, make us deal more key damage on the assigned skill with it. You're gonna see that later. And the Dark Within 2 and later on 3 is gonna give us more key regen on those dark room areas. Alright, shoutouts to the Booba's neck. Alright, so this item right here is the Fleeting Guardian Amulet, as you can see right there. And it's gonna be very useful against one boss in the next region. It's gonna make the fight way faster than it would otherwise. And now we're gonna fight Kama Itachi, which is obviously a very, very RNG heavy fight. But it's not too complicated. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. Okay, so of course it starts with the worst one. Okay, that was weird. Of course it was. Okay, we're gonna grapple. Gonna get away. Buff again. Heaven and Earth again. There we go, and he's as good as that pretty much. Yeah. There we go. GG. That's a bit sketchy. He gave me pretty bad RNG. I also failed to do one of the things that I wanted to do, but it's fine. Okay, we're gonna update our sword as well. Sadly, we're not getting more access right now. For now, it is fine. But if I don't get an axe on the first mission of the next region, then I should actually just go get one on the blacksmith. But hopefully we can be lucky enough to avoid that. It's just like 10-15 seconds if I do. Okay, so in this boss, well, in this mission rather, there's probably the slowest safety run that I'm gonna take. But if I do not take it and I die to the boss somehow, that's gonna be a big time waste, so it's better to take it. Just in case. Because memes do happen. Lots of memes in this game. Okay, so we're gonna call the elevator, and when we do that, we're gonna do some menus. Use 5 of this. Shortcut that. Use 2 of this. Shortcut 3 more items. The travel amulet is gonna be useful later. In like, not the next region, but the one afterwards. Yeah, we're going to get the safety shrine in a moment. If there's anything else, I don't have much more to talk about at this moment.
Nothing in right now. But yeah, we still have things that you can bid towards. Like I said, later on, well, it'll be early in the morning for me, depending on where you're at. We got Nioh Replicant, New Game Plus B. There's a couple of choices for soundtrack on that. You can always throw your money towards the All Souls relay race. If you prefer a particular team, or you just like, maybe you want to throw it in both ways. Equal opportunity. Make people's time a little bit tougher. You're like, well, I don't really have a favorite. You can throw a little bit there and then let other people choose which direction that goes.
Alright, so we're nearing the boss. There's one thing about this game, there's like, well, both in this one and Nioh one, which are the yokai enemies popping in in the middle of the way. They're like road bumps to slow you down. It's kind of annoying. Anyways, we buff with Purity and do high stance strong attack. And look what Saito is doing. This is like the evil twin. Okay, now Yokai shift. 1, 2, brute counter. Dodge that. 1, 2, brute counter. Grapple. And now we're gonna use the strong attack. Yeah, I kinda messed up a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. I have a backup. I messed up a little bit. I'm gonna just shoot it. Oh, cool. So, Phantom phase is the worst phase of them all, which is this one. So that's why I was so careful with it. But yeah, of course I messed up a little bit. I was supposed to do things slightly different, but it's fine. Oh man. I blame my studies from taking my time. Alright. So now we are able to have 2 Guardian Spirits at once. And we're gonna assign it on the next mission. Right, skip the cutscene. And in this next mission, we're gonna see another property of the Brute Yokai Shift. You kinda saw that already, but you know, it was not on the plans in theory. We're gonna use the, what is it called? The Red Spire Lily to give us 10 anima. Basically a full anima meter for the purposes of the run. And yeah, we're gonna go through all this forest. These lights that are going around the place, those are actually the boss that we're gonna fight. It's like a big owl with 3 eyes. It's called the Tatarimoke. It's normally a pretty problematic boss, but we're gonna deal with it very, very fast. Unless, of course, I mess up again. Hopefully not. But yeah, we're gonna use the Fleeting Guardian Amulet that I got in the previous region. We're gonna use it for this boss. Now we're gonna avoid the gaze of the Tatarimoke right there and get that item. If you don't avoid the gaze, the area becomes a dark realm and orbs start chasing you, and it's very concerning. Alright. Slow down a little bit here because we have a road bumper. And now we're gonna talk to Mumio, because Mumio is gonna give us a very important item that we're gonna use near the end of the run, called the Bell. Okay, sorry. Clay Bell of Beckoning, yes. And we're gonna get the Spirit Gem, we're gonna use it straight away after this. Okay, so 10 heart, 10 courage, rest on skill. I'm gonna get the Masaru, which is a feral spirit. And we're gonna use the Spirit Gem straight away. Spirit Gem gives us 80 anima, no, not anima, Amrita meter, as you can see right there. Now it's 20, 24, you know the drill. Okay, those umbrellas are the worst enemy in the entire game, not even kidding. Alright, so switching to the axe, skip the cutscene, and as soon as we see it, use the Fleeting Guardian Amulet, dodge into that, high stance strong attack, breath counter, Heaven and Earth, Yokai Shift, grapple, parry. And now we're lacking damage. We're gonna parry again. Alright, so because of the lack of damage, the fight was actually longer than it would normally be. But you know, still pull through. I did like half of the regular damage. But yeah, now we have a hammer. It is not the same as an axe. Hammers do more key damage and less damage than the axe. So, you know, that's gonna be a bit detrimental to the damage itself. But against level 10 or so axe, it's gonna be definitely better. Alright, so now we're in the classic snow area, you know, checking all the typical RPG areas. We went through the poison, now we're on the snow and ice. I'm gonna ready the menu real quick. I'm gonna get this Scampus. Getting some skills from the Samurai skill tree. I switched to the Masaru just in case. Masaru is the feral spirit that I have right now. Especially for this part. Okay, no problem. Getting past that road bumper is a bit concerning sometimes. Okay. Getting some items in the way, like those two Inspiriting Gems. Very, very important. I'm gonna get this item right here, hopefully not get hit. Okay. Sometimes a random arrow comes out of nowhere and hits you. Like literally out of nowhere. I don't know what is up with that. Alright. So now we're gonna... this is actually Magara no Otaka, believe it or not. We're gonna just dash past him because he is bad at actually attacking us, and only at 1% of the times actually hits the player. Alright. So we got the safety shrine, and now we're gonna use another Sprinting Gem to set up this next fight. And yeah, you might have guessed what we're gonna do next. We're gonna use Yokai Shift. And you're gonna see lots of parries, I guarantee you that, unless I'm bad. In which case, not so many. Alright, that's not a good starting attack. It's fine. Give it a nerf. Okay, there we go. That's no Kami and Yokai Shift. Brute counter. Parry. Key pulls. 1, 2, 3. Key pulls. Parry. That's no Kami. Parry. 1, 2, 3. That's no Kami. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. Parry. 1, 2, 3. He pulls, parry, and that's no Kami, and he's dead. Okay, so that was the Parry Fest 2021. Hope you liked it.
We have time for a donation?
Yes, go ahead.
Alright, this was a $25 donation from Anonymous. It says, Nioh 2 run is so good. God luck. Doesn't even say good luck, it says God luck, Axel.
Damn.
Thank you so much. Just remember, even smallest bit help, even if it's just $1. $1 can provide 4 children with treatment against pneumonia, a life-threatening illness. All right, back to you.
Alright, thank you for the godlike. Haven't gotten those before. Maybe it is a good thing. Alright, so next up is gonna be a Zainagamaza. It is quite a dangerous fight, depending on the RNG that we get on the first part. Afterwards, it should not be too much of a deal, as long as I don't mess up. But yeah, before we get to that, we're gonna have to operate some levers to access the boss, and of course get the safety shrine just in case. And while we operate those levers, we're gonna get some skills. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get the other one. Okay, yes, that's good. So normally, you can, depending on how the run goes, you can get just Rumbling Earth or Rumbling Earth and Titanic Strength. So I was able to get both, that's pretty good. And we allocate Rumbling Earth on the high stance, charge attack, strong charge attack. And put Masterful Slice, as I said before. Masterful Slice makes some skills, the allocated ones, do more key damage. So that's going to be relevant for this boss fight especially. And we're going to see what happens. Buff with Purity. Also got a hammer that is always guaranteed to be there. So I'll use it, I'll equip it afterwards. Dodge that, high stance strong attack. Okay, so I got weird RNG right there. It's fine. Titanic Strength. High stance strong attack. There we go, Titanic Strength, there we go. Now he's gonna do that. We're gonna burst counter that with the Feral. Grapple. We're gonna buff again and do Titanic Strength. Not Titanic Strength, Rumbling Earth, sorry. Followed by Titanic Strength. I'm gonna attack a bit more. Grapple into 1, 2. Rumbling Earth. There we go. Rumbling Earth. Yatsuno Kami. And this should be GG. GG. So that went pretty alright, except for the very start of the fight. Alright. So that ends the third region. And we're moving on to the first mission that we're gonna have a double boss fight, not double boss fight, but 2 boss fights in the same mission. And the first boss fight is gonna be an all-timer from Nioh 1, although this is before Nioh 1, so I guess it's a new timer. Called Saika Magoichi. And although he is quite dangerous, on the normal, normally he should get quite destroyed. But sometimes, as you see on the whole run, RNG is not on my favor, of course. Because we got good RNG on the crystals actually. 2 Lumicide crystals is very good at this point. It basically means that we're gonna have a bit higher level. Okay, and now what is this? Good, not the hammer, the cannon. That's perfect. So when you see that enemy have that cannon taken out, that means that you have pretty much a free pass, because you get close to her, then she takes out the cannon in order to, takes out the sword, putting away the cannon, or or the Kuserigama, I don't know. And that basically slows down the process of taking again the cannon out and then shooting us. Alright, so that's the Obume. You can recognize that enemy, but the special attack of screaming a lot, all the time, constantly. and being quite annoying. Alright, so now we're gonna cross this bridge, and there's gonna be a spear guy who likes to just play with his spear a lot. We're gonna ignore him and get to the shrine. And we're gonna change this Guardian Spirit to Shirohami after leveling up. We're gonna go with 10 strength and rest on stamina. We're gonna only level up stamina from now on, because that's the main stat for the axe damage and hammer damage as well. The main reason why I didn't level up before is because there's other good good stats that you can get early on with the other levels, you know, with other stats. So that's pretty useful to get to the 10 on most of them. Alright, so Saika Magoichi. Let's see. Fast and strong attack. A couple of them, one more. And now we're gonna start doing Heaven and Earth. I mean, not Heaven and Earth, Titanic Strength, sorry. Every time that he gets away, we're just gonna brute counter. And hopefully he will actually... Okay. We're gonna do Heaven and Earth. Okay, what are you doing, Saika? I don't know what he's doing. He's being very weird. Okay, yokai shit. Bro, why? I basically did the whole fight without the yokai shift. He was very, very weird and didn't let me break his key early on, as normally. Anyways, we're going to the next boss, and you know, we just use the travel amulet to get to this boss fastest. This next boss is what I like to call the Tinder Lord, because he likes to swipe left and right. You will notice that quite soon. There we go, that's the swipe. Tinder expert, for sure. Alright. So we're gonna wait for him to transition into Dark Realm. And we're gonna punish him with a snake, bring him down. We're gonna do another Heaven and Earth, then grapple, followed by a snake. Well, he has less defense. Titanic Strength, Heaven and Earth, all that good stuff. He's being weird, of course, but it's no problem. We're just gonna use more snake. If things go weird, just use the snake a bit more, and everything will be fixed. That's what I learned with this game. Alright, so now we're gonna grapple, and we're gonna learn Passage to the Afterlife 1. We're gonna get Special Finesse, Invigorate, and we're gonna get Fortitude 1, Purified Yokai Realm Heaven. Alright, so I did all of that menu because Mumio is very slow at getting to this place, so it gives me plenty of time to do that. Alright. So in the next mission, this is gonna be the only mission where I don't take any shrines, because it actually messes up the setup a little bit, and also the boss fight is on paper very easy. You may have noticed that I've been picking up almost all the soul cores except for the Gyuki soul core from the bosses. That is because we want to get the proficiency from the Shifling skill tree in order to get those passives that are gonna help us deal more damage, get more key recovery and all that stuff. Deal more damage mainly with the yokai skills. And we're gonna actually get another... Oh, come on. Another campus right here. And yeah, this is a mandatory burning area. I'm gonna check that out of the list. There we go. So, fun fact. Having a campus on your side, it makes you immune to blue fire. Like completely immune. You don't... It doesn't affect you in any way. So that's very nice. We're gonna take profit of that. And you know, the water for the red fire. Okay, we're gonna use 2 of this to set up the yokai shift. There we go. It's pretty neat. So that's the second time that I did the armor. There's gonna be only one more time that I did the armor in the run. Right. Now we're nearing this final room before the boss. Get this water. Burst counter that. And open the door. Get past everything. Now, this is probably one of overall people's favorite bosses. Kasha, also known as the cat girl on the subway. It has to be a favorite. Okay, I'm getting a bit weird RNG right now, but it's fine. It's not too bad. Just weird. Okay, maybe it's a bit bad. Okay, Jatsu no Kami. Use another one, and now you're gonna see a loop. Yokai shift. Slap in the face. 1, 2, 3. Keep pulse. Grapple. Jatsu no Kami. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And she's dead. So yeah. You can loop the grapple with the brute counter on brute yokai shift. Quite effective indeed.
You know what else is quite effective?
Tell me.
Sturdy Wrists donating $50 to help save the children. That's pretty effective right there. Thank you so much for that 50.
All right. Thank you for that. So we got the Kasha Soul Core, which is gonna be the other main Soul Core that we're gonna use. But we're not gonna slot it yet. Main reason is because we cannot. But after this mission, we're gonna be able to. After this mission, you get more slots for the Soul Cores. Alright. So I'm gonna buff with water just to increase my damage a little bit more. Let's switch to Masaru for several reasons. Masaru, when absorbing Amrita, makes it so you get a bit more damage, you know, more attack. Okay, we're gonna use 3 Spirit Stones. There we go. So without that small buff, I could have probably not been able to have enough damage to kill that crystal before enemies were attacking me. So it's quite a bit relevant in that regard. Alright. So there's this shortcut right here that I'm gonna take. Just so in case I die, I don't have to go around the whole thing. And meanwhile, I'm just gonna menu a little bit. I'm gonna get these items. This one and the one on this side. And next up is gonna be the Ryomin Sukuna boss. I don't know if anyone has seen Jujutsu Kaisen, but you know, it's that yokai, the strong yokai. That's the one that we're gonna fight. It's gonna be a bit different, but you know, Same concept. 20 fingers. Alright. Buff with the purity. Dodge that. And see what happens. Sorry. Alright. Yatsu no Kami. We're gonna do one more of those. And Yokai Shift. A parry. Again. We'll do that again. Alright, not too bad, but not too good either. It's fine. Nothing to worry about. One thing that I do need to do is drink some water. So, one moment. Okay, so that concludes the fourth region out of 7. Getting closer to the end game. And now we got the Ryumen Sukuna Soul Core and also the Ryumen Sukuna Axe. The Ryumen Sukuna Axe is going to be very useful in the upcoming fights. So we're definitely going to use that. And we're gonna do another mission with 2 bosses. In this case, there's Maeda Toshie, Maeda Toshie, also known as Mataza of the Spear. And then after that, there's Shibata Katsuye. There's a shrine here, but I'm not even gonna bother with it. Okay, got some menu pop-ups. Those menu pop-ups are from blessed weapons and yokai weapons. For whatever reason I didn't find any before, or if I did, I didn't go on top of it with the cursor. And yeah, Maeda Toshie is gonna be interesting boss fight because we're gonna basically use the same attack over and over again. Except for some occasions, but for the most part the same attack over and over again, and he cannot do anything about it. He will just spam the parry for the most part, but that attack is unparryable, so good for us. Alright, so up with water, so gonna be the norm for the human bosses. That's the parry that he did right there, and we're just gonna do the Titanic Strength over and over again. Okay, I didn't get the perfect RNG, but it's fine. I'm gonna do Heaven and Earth, more Titanic Strength. Whenever he gets away, we might actually do that. And now we're gonna switch back and forth in order to get rid of that water. And now we debuff him with Corruption on top of the water. So that gives us the Confusion debuff. All that good Confusion debuff. Also, I'm getting the very late key pulses. It's not good. Okay, that was a bit sketchy, but we got it. It's fine. Okay, so what I did right there is unequip again the Ryumen Sukuna Axe. That is useful because that resets the sentience bar meter. Sentience bar meter is basically like a meter that when it gets full, it overrides any buff that we have on and puts on the corruption debuff. So I don't want that to happen too soon. So that's why I did that, to reset the meter. Alright, so Shibata Katsuye is gonna be another interesting fight. The hardest part of the fight is gonna be the start. That's what happens with most fights, actually. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Heaven on Earth. Heaven on Earth again. Satanic Strength. Yatsu no Kami. Alright, and hopefully I can get the water now. If not, it's okay. There we go, water. That's perfect. Oh, almost perfect. Not quite perfect. It's fine. We can recover from it. So I was slightly off. We're gonna, you know, be careful. Just in case. Oh yeah, that's Shibata Katsuye. Not perfect. But you know, overall you get the idea. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing. Well, actually, we don't need to right now. Okay. So I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot. Onwards to the next main mission. We're gonna fight the Tokichiro, which is... That's the main side character. You know, it's like always in the journey with us. And now we're gonna fight him because he's gotten intoxicated with all the Amrita. It's like a curse or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but it has to do with Amrita. Okay, so now I allocated the Kasha Soul Core to the Nekomata Spirit, which is a first spirit, and that gives us a speed buff, letting us go through this part faster. I'm gonna change to the Shirohami because that's gonna be the useful spirit right now, or you know, the useful yokai shift, the brute yokai shift. Taking the safety shrine. And now we're gonna do a mix between what we did with Imagawa and Mataza, adding a little bit of yokai shift to it. So right at the start we're gonna obviously skip the cutscene and shoot him in the head, this time with an arrow because I don't have ammo, with a matchlock. Heaven on Earth. As soon as he gets away, use the brute counter to get rid of that. And now yokai shift. 1, 2, 3. Brute counter. 1, 2. Brute counter. 1. Brute counter. He can parry, so I'm not getting too regular attack happy, just in case. Because yes, he can actually parry the yokai shift attacks. Excuse me for the throat and the dry throat. Okay, so now we're gonna fight another boss before fighting the final boss of the mission. So, you know, another dual boss mission. I'm gonna use another Red Spire Lily. And we're gonna use Kasha for the first time, not to defeat an enemy, but to defeat a crystal. Because getting close to that crystal is too dangerous and almost certain death. So we're just gonna do this. Bath with Purity. And get past this Magatsu Warrior. And now this is gonna be a very RNG heavy fight. The one with Hachisuka Koroku. If he is nice enough, he'll let me debuff him with Purity. There we go. Okay, come on. Yeah, he wasn't that nice. But it's fine. He's very, very weak to fire. And now he's very, very dead. Alright. Let's get this safety shrine. Just in case, of course. And now we're gonna do a setup to do, you could call it a skip, I guess. But it's kinda intended. Dash, 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 dash very fast. And now the boss should break that and let us go through. So yeah, the boss is throwing stuff at us. Some, I don't know, some Hadokens, Yokai version. We're gonna get this Scampus, not truly necessary, but pretty useful. And we're gonna get to the last shrine, and before we do that, we're gonna dash through some boulders with the Yokai, with the Feral counter, which has iframes. So it's very, very useful to go through them. And, you know, get in the safety shrine. This next boss is quite simple, but it's also very unforgivable if you have a wrong positioning for a, you know, for any reason. If you have the wrong position, he can kill you. That was very, very close to killing me. I managed to fix my positioning of it enough to not get hit. And now we're gonna grapple this, and we're gonna try our best to skip the final phase. Not because we need to, but because we can, and it's faster. But unfortunately, I'm like, I don't know, 5% not enough. Yeah, it's fine. It is RNG heavy, getting that or not, so it was bound to happen in a marathon. Now we're gonna grapple. Gonna get this, and we're gonna get Morning Moon. It's gonna be useful later. There we go. Alright. So now remember that place we were in right at the start of the run? Yeah, we're back at it. Because we're dead! But, you know, like Goku, we can just resurrect. You know, no problem. I'm sure they have some kind of Dragon Balls here. And we're actually gonna talk to our mother. Yes. All resemblance is pure coincidence. White hair is just a coincidence. Alright, so this is gonna be the only time where the game actually ports us directly to the next region without changing region manually. So that's pretty nice of them to do that. Wish that happened before on the other ones as well. But yeah. And yeah, we're on what it is my favorite layout, level layout. We're gonna use a Spiriting Gem. I'm not too sure if I should be using this axe or just use the Rimitsukuna axe, honestly. But you know, we're gonna find out now. We're gonna do some Mat Spinner too. And get some items on the way. And now we're a bit short from 100% of Amrita meter, so we're gonna pop 2 of the small ones to get the 100%. And now we're gonna do the pretty much the only actual skip in the run. There's another one that I could have done, but it's not really worth doing. Alright, so we're gonna pop Yokai Shift, dash, and drop. So we just saved like 20 seconds or something like that. And we use Kasha. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. She basically did the single attack that could have stopped me, which was the paralysis attack. Of course, me being lucky as usual. And yeah, you guessed it. This is the last part, you know, the last time that I'm actually updating my armor. It is not strictly necessary, but it does help to not randomly die as often. And yeah, we're gonna have to break another crystal, and after that we're gonna lower the water once again with those jewels. Very, very mythical place. Shoutouts to the talking goat spirit. And we're gonna mat spinner again. And get all these items, just so we are not short of them. Alright. I get that. And we're gonna ready our Yokai Shift once again in a short moment. Next up is pretty rough boss fight. Mainly because this boss has a lot of ki and HP, so it is quite rough to bring it down quickly. So yeah, let's buff with Purity, and let's fight the shoot and dodge. It also has some quite dangerous attacks. But yeah, nothing that I cannot deal with. Okay. There we go, Heaven and Earth. Titanic Strength. Yeah, I kinda messed up a little bit there. It's okay. It's okay to mess up a little bit. Yokai Shift. Yeah, that's not good. Roman Sakuna. Yeah, I messed up. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Starts that. Yeah, he likes to do that. That spin attack with her. Alright, use Yatsu no Kami once again. Yatsu no Kami is very useful for damage and key damage. And now he's dead. Sketchy fight. I messed up a little bit, but it's fine. Oh. Alright, so now we're going to enter the longest mission of the run. which is the Golden Palace. We're gonna fight 3 bosses that we have already fought before, plus a final one of the mission. So yeah, we're gonna make some more friends again. Right, so yeah, I messed up a little bit the menu there, so I couldn't update the sword. Instead I got split stuff. That's not what I wanted. There we go, that's what I wanted. Alright, so the first boss is gonna be the first real boss of the run as well, which is an Enra. Alright, so above with Purity. That's the first chain of attacks. Heaven and Earth. Yatsu no Kami. More Heaven and Earth. Yokai Shift. Now use Strong Attack. Charged to full. Followed by Gremlin Sukuna and then some other shenanigans. And yeah, you can still parry that as well. Pretty alright fight. I'll definitely take it. Alright. So I'm gonna get close to this crystal and use the Kasha Soul Core. Just so I don't have to wait for the key to refill. And we're gonna get this shrine right here. Okay, next up is gonna be the snake again. I know you guys like snakes a lot. No, they are not lizards. Nor are lizards snakes either. Alright, so above with Purity. Lock onto the main body. Heaven and Earth once again. Look at what she does. Heaven and Earth. And then some Kasha to proc that sweet confusion. Grapple once again. Heaven and Earth. Kasha. Yeah, I had to do that. Because otherwise I was gonna get hit by that. Okay, Yatsu no Kami is dead. Got a bit sketchy, but it's fine. Okay, there's an army going after me. Because they said he's too dangerous to be kept alive, so... yeah. There we go. Now we're gonna get this shrine and change our Yatsu no Kami from this Guardian Spirit to the newer one because it's higher level. And this next boss is gonna be Kasha again. So lucky you, you get to see the insane cheese once again. Loops for days. Come on. Yatsu no Kami. Heaven and Earth. Yokai Shift. Slap. 1, 2. Grapple. And that's Kasha. Alright, we got the Ame no Mahitotsu axe. That's exactly what I want. That's a really good axe. So while I wait for this guy to get out of the way, there we go. I equip it. Now, this is gonna be Lady Osakabe, and yeah, if you have never heard about this boss, never seen it, yeah, it's tentacle boss. It's also kind of like a house. Team Ninja really outdid themselves on this one. Okay, so for those who didn't catch that, sorry, that was my bad. I didn't lock on in time. I'm doing a Ramming Earth followed by a flash attack that I learned earlier to get rid of all the ki as fast as possible. Flash attack is ki pulse followed by changing the weapon. As you can see right there, I change to the sword and I do a quick attack with it. Okay, so that's phase 1. There's a way to skip the phase 1, but it's not something that I've practiced, nor something that I could do at this point. So yeah, now we don't need to do the flash attack even. Now they're weaker on phase 2. Phase 2 is a bit more dangerous in terms of attacks, but in terms of actually dealing damage to the boss, or to the heads, it's actually a bit easier. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. I wasn't hitting the eye because of the angle, sadly, but it's fine. Now I'm hitting it on this one, and that's the end of the fight. Change to brute and the sword, and now we're gonna get that and that. It's mainly just for the ki, having a bit more ki while going around the place. Okay, we got some more axes. That is good. We're nearing the end of the run. So next mission has a lot of running around at the start, so there's some time to talk about other stuff if you want.
Well, we do still have a few more donation incentives coming up. So obviously the no move swap stiff already been met, but soundtrack choice for Nioh Replicant still open. That should be, how long is that from now? I'll just say a few hours from now, because I don't feel like doing the math. But a few hours from now, and then we have several incentives. I think all of them are team based, if I recall correctly, just off browsing them. For the any percent relay races. So you can choose your favorite team and stick it to the team that you don't like or don't like as much, I guess.
Alright. So we're gonna have to break this rock right there in order to go through. And I'm lucky enough that I have a strong enough sword to one-shot it with the Morning Moon. Morning Moon is the skill that I was using right there to break it. And fun fact, if you die right after or soon after breaking that rock that triggers the rest of the level, the Scampus will not spawn on this level. And yeah, Scampus are actually kind of crucial in this mission for the speedrun. So if that were to happen, then I would just quit out in order to make them spawn later without, by not dying. But thankfully that didn't happen. It's not something that is common to happen. It's just something that you need to take into account because it is very, very dangerous for the speedrun. Okay, so here we have the first Scampus. I'm gonna learn some more shifting stuff. It's gonna be pretty much the last learn skills menu that we do here. Okay, that's not nice. Alright. So on this one, it is quite risky to go for the morning moon here, so I just go with Yokai Shift. It's quite swift and quite safe as well. So now we're gonna level up as usual, all in stamina for more damage on the axe. And we're gonna get this second Scampus and use another Lumicide Crystal to top up the Amrita meter for the Yokai Shift. Okay, so in this mission there's two bosses, and they're one after the other, and the second one has two phases. So, okay, that's not the one. That's the one. Okay. I was supposed to walk with water, not with purity, on this boss. Alright, do something. Thank you. Now we're gonna use all and very effective tactic of just switching back and forth from high to low stance and using the good old Titanic Strength spam. Okay, he should be doing a burst attack. There we go. Nice. Now we're gonna work with Purity, and now we're gonna remember that Clay Bell of Beckoning. We're gonna use it right now. And now we have 3 Scampers. That means more animal regen and more key damage on the boss. Also a bit of damage, but you know, mainly key damage. Alright. Now we're gonna use Kasha, and she's just gonna get destroyed here, honestly. What? Okay. That's a bit sketchy. Okay, now we're gonna pop Kasha and Yokai Shift, and he's gonna get Omega destroyed. Yatsunokami, more Kasha. Yeah, SCG, and that's gonna end the 6th region of the game. And after that, there's the 7th region composed of 2 missions. But before that, we're actually, I lied to you before, we do actually visit the interim again. But you know, it's just very, very short time. Just enough to push the mom. And yeah, we have a cutscene mission. There's like 2 cutscenes playing in this mission, or we're gonna skip. And the second, that cutscene right there that I just skipped was the one with William in Nioh 1, right at the start, when he got to Japan. And speaking of William, we're gonna fight him, and hopefully he won't be extra annoying. So it's just 2 Lumicide crystals, switch to the axe, pop Yokai Shift, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, there we go. Now we're gonna use strong attack. There we go. That should be GG. There we go. Good. Not perfect, William, but I'll take it, definitely. Okay, so now we're going to the last mission of the game, or you know, or of the main game, and the last mission for the run. In the Eye of the Beholder. It's also gonna be quite short. It's basically like a minute or less of getting to the boss and then the boss.
Let's go.
And just for the sake of it, just because I can, I'm gonna get this Scampus instead of using the what is it called? The Red Spire Lily. Alright, so I switched to the Shirohami once again because we're gonna be using that as the main spirit, since we're gonna use the Brute Yokai Shift. And, you know, I'm just gonna do a quick level up here just to get some extra damage. Now all we need to do is touch this Magatsu Warrior attack. There we go, just like that, easy peasy. And we are in the last boss of the main game. Buff with Purity. And bait attacks. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can do Heaven and Earth. That's good. 1, 2. There we go. That's a good boy. Otakemaru, that's a good boy. Grapple. For the timing. Buff again. Rumbling Earth. There we go, that's perfect. So far so good. Yokai Shift. German Sukuna. With proc confusion and everything. It's not perfect, but you know, I'll take it for now. So I wasn't able to skip the last phase, sadly. It is something that you can do if you get lucky enough and you do things properly. But yeah, me getting lucky, Omega Lul. And that's the end of the boss fight. And I'll say time. It's gonna be when it fades to black after I press go forward. But yeah, that's basically the end of the run. Hope everyone liked it at least half as much as I did. And 3, 2, 1, time. Alright.
Oh man, almost forgot the chant. Jeez. Okay, there we go. Alright, thank you, Axel. Appreciate it. That was Nioh 2 any percent featherless. Anything you like to say? Some shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to Shade. Before I developed this route, I was using another clan. I think it was called the Takenaka clan or something like that. And he had the idea to change to Maeda clan, which basically transformed the route a lot, made it quite faster and more consistent. So shoutouts to him. I did some tweaking right after that as well. But yeah. Also another thing is like the brands with feathers, they are about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes faster, something like that. On which Shade has the Reiki as well. Besides that, I have a tutorial. It's slightly outdated, but it's useful anyways for the Featherless speedrun with the DLCs as well. So if anyone wants to pick it up, you can check out the tutorial. It's very in-depth. There's a lot to talk about because this game is very deep with the mechanics, and there's a lot of small things to take into account. So it's pretty long, but you know, if you really want to get into it, and I would recommend getting that checked. Yeah, thanks Speed Souls for accepting this run. I'm glad to show it off. Because, yeah, I think it deserves to be shown. Definitely.
Yeah, well, thanks for running. Appreciate it. All right, well, so coming up next, we are going to go to Commander Ike. They'll be doing Dark Souls No Wrong Warp axe to axe route, so not your traditional one. And that'll do it for me, but I'll leave you all in capable hands because taking over is going to be the one, the only Dark Fox. So don't worry. Don't worry. You're in good hands. He's going to take care of you. And keep those donations coming in. I have a feeling we'll hit 9K before too long. All right. Take care, guys. And thank you again, Axel.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Stay tuned for Dark Souls